the main thing that I find extremely hypocritical about Kevin is, Kevin, you claim, I feel like his biggest claim is the lack of purpose in a man that women tend to have, right? His biggest claim to me, if you ask me, is that women don't value men the way that they should. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But I also think that men don't value themselves the way that they should. But the biggest hypocrisy in his speech is that, Kevin, you don't value women either. You don't know what it is about women that you should be valuing. You don't know. A lot of women don't know what it is about themselves that men should value. But most importantly, because we're talking about Kevin, you don't know what it is, the divinity in a woman, the spiritual, metaphysical aspects of a woman, regardless of how she looks, how big she is, whether she's a 1 or a 10. You're unfamiliar with the purpose and the divinity of the woman. You're unfamiliar. Because if you were familiar, you wouldn't be talking about this bullshit, this bullcrap that you're fucking talking about. You wouldn't be talking about it. You would not be asking women to rate themselves and taking that rating and charging it to what kind of man they should be looking for. You wouldn't be doing that. Okay? Because the spirituality and the divinity and the medical physical nature of any woman, when it's high vibrations, regardless of what she looks like, could take a bum off the street and turn it into fucking Bill Gates. She's the multiplier. Fuck whether she looks good enough to go to the mayor's ball or to the... Fuck that shit. That don't got shit the fuck to do with what that woman can fucking do. And it has nothing to do with you. And you don't have a say-so as to how valuable the fuck it is. You don't have a say-so in that. Because you're not I don't know if you want to be a woman. I don't know if you have fucking clitoris envy. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. But you're not a woman. And you'll never be a fucking woman. You remind me of those women that have fucking penis envy that want to be a man, don't understand why men are so fucking important. And here you are trying to explain that in a very irrational way. Some of it's pragmatic, logical, and I agree with it. But a lot of it is just fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. And you mentioned, and I feel like a lot of women don't really know how to bring up this conversation because they're not men. They're not connecting and relating to it the way that a man would relate to it. And the men who disagree probably also don't know how to communicate it. And the men who do agree, or at least agree with some of the shit that you say, are just going to shut the fuck up and not say anything because they're fucking cowards. But you're full of shit. You're full of fucking shit. And you need to be stopped. Now, like I said, I agree with some of the things he says. I think everybody should be pragmatical and logical to who they are and where they are in life. But that has nothing to do with how you look or your financial situation. It's a lot of very financially stable, beautiful people who are fucking ugly, demonic, fucking losers. They just found a way to consistently make money. I know like 2 of them. But when you're around them, they make you want to throw the fuck up. And that's what you remind me of. And a person like you can go find you a beautiful. She'll suck your dick and do whatever the fuck you ask her to do. And maybe you go find you one of these Asian women. They don't, you know what I mean? Do whatever the fuck you want them to do. But they gonna be miserable. Miserable. And you brought up a point where and I hate that you talk about this about black women, because out of all women, black women, my nigga, like, you sound stupid as fuck. You brought up the point about Mexican women. Their men could go sell oranges on the street and go looking for work and hop on a U-Haul truck and go do work and not make $5 an hour. And their women to respect them. Because guess what? Mexican men understand the value in their fucking women, and they treat them like so. They understand when that woman gets on her fucking knees and prays to God that shit is gonna start happening. They understand that. It's niggas like you that don't understand that. And it's why these women don't fucking respect us. Niggas like you. And I see the nigga on the podcast outside of Joe Budden, because that's his podcast. He has to be neutral. The other light-skinned nigga, you just sound bitter. Maybe your dick is little. I don't know what the fuck your problem is. You're fat, your dick little. I don't know what is your problem, brother. But the other nigga that was in the middle, I don't know, I think it's Ice or whatever the fuck. He was the only one with the energy that was willing to challenge you and say what needs to be said. But a lot of niggas don't know how to stand up to that, because you're intelligent. You're very manipulative. You got that. I get that to you. But you ain't got me fooled. You're a fucking coward. That's what you are. You're a coward. You know what I mean? So now that I got that out the way, let me just say this. Let me say this, because it's a lot. When I say some stuff that I'll just have to get that off my chest. When I say some stuff that he says that I agree with, that I feel like is very standard when it comes to the perspective and relationships between black men and women specifically, especially when it comes to our history in this country, slavery and Jim Crow and all those things that he mentioned. Those things are very standard. Those things are very real. You know, food stamps and all that stuff, and the government and all that stuff is very real. But you can't use those things to back up the bullshit that you're saying. You can't do. That's not you. It's not like Bridget Kelly said. That's not. It's pragmatic, but it's not real life, because it's not real. It's not coming from an honest place. It's coming from a person who's a coward and who refuses to look at himself in the mirror and face his hypocrisy. No man in his right mind would take the value of a woman at face value. You just gotta either be fucking stupid, or you gotta be. You say you hate when women call you gay and shit, but you know what I mean. It's something, and you say, oh, they have gay best friends and they treat them good. It's not necessary. It's not even really about what you're doing and who you're sucking or who you're fucking. It's about the mentality. It's a lot of gay men who have a better fucking mentality than you do when it comes to women. They just don't know how to get their dick hard. And here's my biggest problem, because I don't want to feel like I feel like I'm attacking a man. I'm not attacking, but I'm just speaking the truth, because this is the truth. That's all that I speak. That's all I know how to do is the truth. When you said that 3 years you did for men, just going in on men and trying to figure it out, why didn't you continue that? What was it that, because you can't tell a woman what a woman needs to be. Only that's for a woman to figure out. Whether she needs to hoe on the street or feel like she's liberating herself, or city girls and run it up, whatever she needs to do to get to a point where she figures out her purpose as a woman and what it means in her divinity, so she can charge that shit up and inspire and help these young men out here. Whatever she needs to do to get there, that's her journey. That don't have nothing to fuck to do with Kevin. That don't have nothing to fuck to do with no man at all. Because these women are tired. They don't want to let us lead, and we can't lead because our mother's in it. The same shit that you're speaking about is the same shit that you're doing, my nigga. You're making an excuse as to why these men can't do what the fuck they need to do. You want to be a leader? Lead. Do the right fucking thing. That's all. You got a woman at home that's trying to be a good woman that needs to figure out her shit too? Well, then be a good man. Figure out your shit. Stop trying to tell her what the fuck she needs to be doing, and do what the fuck you need to do for yourself to elevate yourself spiritually. Do that first. Do that. Because that's all you can do. That's all we can ever do to help anybody. Women are tired. They're tired of being silenced. They're tired of letting these niggas run around and make excuses and then blame them. They're tired. If we want to lead the household, then do that. Just do the right fucking thing. That's it. Do the right fucking thing. That's all. And if you care too much as a man what other men have to say about you doing the right fucking thing, how the fuck is that a woman's fault? How? We all got flaws. And we all need to be a little bit corrected. From time and time again. But that's self-correction. That's leading by example. That's being the best version of yourself so other people can see how to do that. Not getting online telling women that, oh, sorry, babe, you're not an 8, but you a 2. Oh, I'm sorry, but you're too big for a man to want you. Oh, girl, I'm sorry, but you just too stupid. What? Girl, you don't make enough money to get that kind of man. Huh? Excuse you? And then you get mad when women say things like the things that they say about you or about men like you because you think it's an attack on them. It's not an attack on men. It's the mentality, bro. I've been called gay. I'm a very flamboyant man. Very flamboyant. I express my opinions. I say what the fuck I want to say. I don't give a fuck what nobody has to say. Like, I really don't. I don't. But my mentality is different. I understand the purpose of a woman, the divinity of a woman. I get that. I understand how important that is. And that don't have nothing to do with how she look or how big she is, how small she is, or how much money she got. It has to do with how much she understands about herself as a woman. And that doesn't even have anything to do with me. The only thing it has to do with me is how I pick it, how I pick her. And the only way I could pick a woman that understands herself as a woman is if I understand myself as a man. It's just it's fucking tiring. I'm tired of men making excuses as to why they can't be men. And now here we have this man, quote unquote, and the excuse is we can't be men because women won't let us be men. Stop. You can't be a man because you don't want to be a man. You want to be a fucking woman. That's what you really want to be. And I know that for a fact. I know that for 110% accuracy. You'd rather be a woman. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shit, some days I'd rather be a woman. But if you think being a woman's easy, I think you got a rude fucking awakening, my nigga. I think you got a rude fucking awakening. You think being a woman's easy and you can barely deal with yourself. You can barely deal with, I can tell by the look on your face that you could barely deal with yourself. I can tell by the things that you say that you can barely deal with yourself. I can tell by the look that, I can tell that you wake up every morning confused, bro. Before you put on your glasses, you sit on the edge of your bed and you think for 15 minutes because you don't know who you are. And then you wake up in your nice house, you go take a shower and you put your clothes on and you get online and you do all this bullshit and you feel like everything's okay because people are listening. I'm sorry, bro. People listen to Marilyn Manson and Cardi B and all types of bullshit. Shout out to Cardi B. I love Cardi B. But I'm just saying. Back to my original, my other point, which was you did 3 years trying to have this dialogue with men. Why didn't you continue that? Why did you move into trying to pursue accountability for women? Why did you do that? Why? Because maybe I'm off. Maybe it's just a financial thing for you. Maybe you saw there was more prosperity, more views, more listeners when you were able to agitate women. Because men not going to give you the response that you want. Because we're not trained that way. We train to be a little bit less emotional, a little bit less responsive. You're going to get a little clicks here, clicks there, views there. But we ain't going to get you. You might get a overall internet reaction, but you're not going to get the type of reaction that you want from men. You're not going to be able to get under their skin like that. But you can get it from women. And if that's the thing that's going to up your views and up the money in your, and you doing it for that reason, it's all one and the same. It's all one as you're a coward. You ain't no different than those slave masters and those guys that you talk about. You ain't no different than them. You're no different, bro. You're one and the same. The only difference is that when you attack women, they don't really know how to say it because they don't really know how to, they're not men. They don't know how to relate. They don't know where you're coming from. And some of them do. They just don't want to say what really needs to be said because it's going to sound like they're attacking men. And we in a wrong type of climate for them to do that. We in a wrong type of climate to be attacking women, and we in a wrong type of climate to be attacking men either. Because you got the LBGT movement and all this shit happening. The Me Too and all that shit. Especially between black men and women. Jesus Christ. Be accountable for yourself. I don't know what woman broke your heart or what your mama did to you. Some woman did something to you, bro, that fucked you up. And you are going on a tirade to fucking bring women down, bro. Black women down. It's not cute, bro. It's not cute at all. It's trash. You too intelligent for that. Too intelligent. I'd rather see you in a room full of, niggas that's trying to make a move, trying to make a difference between how niggas is out here living, than to be doing this dumbass shit. This is stupid. You sound dumb as fuck. Niggas is making memes and parodies about your stupid ass. Not because it's cute, because you're stupid, bro. It's dumb. Because it's bullshit. It's very Derek Jacksonist. What the nigga name is? Derek Jackson? Where the fuck his name is? It's very so much of that. It's very so much giving. Derek Jackson the second. The only difference between you and Derek Jackson is Derek Jackson didn't focus on women. He focused on men. He just so happened to be that man that he was focusing on. But at least he tried to be accountable and tried to talk about the things that men need to be accountable about. And I see you do the same. But it's just like 1%. It's like 99% women this and women that. And if they only just did this and did that, then we will be able to do this and do that. But we do need to have some accountability. Nigga, what? Ugh. It's just, ugh. Teach our men how to be boys, how to be men, not a man like you. No, sir. The fuck? And listen, I grew up, I was raised by a single mother, okay? My father was abusive, I was raised, if you want to talk about, I'm not gonna say my mom hate men, she don't. She loves men. My mom is a fucking angel. But she has her reservations, okay? Just like any woman that went through the shit she went through. So these are things about that's why I say some of the things you see are very pragmatic and very true, because these are things I had to learn about myself as a man before I can move forward. But that didn't have anything to do with a woman. That was about myself. Those were my own insecurities, my own problems, my own lack of accountability, my own inability to do, the fears that resided within myself. Fear. That's the shit that men need to fucking get over. It ain't what a woman is doing. It's that you are afraid. It ain't that you don't know how to be some of it is you don't know how to be a man, and you don't know how to lead, and that's an excuse. But you're afraid to even learn. Why? There's many reasons. We can go back all the way to slavery. And even if your ancestors wasn't a slave, there's lots of reasons why you could be afraid. But say that. Don't get on fucking national television and broadcast all across the fucking internet that women are the problem. That's what you're saying. I know you want to say that's not what you're saying. And you want to try to justify it. Bro, you would have, just like you said about other people trying to morally justify nonsense. Like I said, you haven't found the hypocrisy in yourself as a genius. You haven't seen it because you haven't done the work. So I'm just telling you, you are exactly the type of man that you don't like. Just like you say, women raise the kind of man that they do. You are that guy. And as these new age women say, period.